Dave here from Altruist Training. I'd like to introduce you to our facilitation technique. This is the technique that we train on and that we use as part of the training. It's called AIDED. Okay, it's a simple technique that is actually easy to understand but hard to master. And it allows you to build up and run facilitation sessions really well. It's a preparation technique and a planning technique as much as anything else. It gives you the confidence to facilitate in areas that you may not be familiar in. And it allows you to visualize the sessions before you get there. So what's the first part? The first part is ask. Okay. You need to work out what questions you're going to ask as part of this particular session. Okay, you'll need to have 4 or 5 questions, but as with all these steps here, there's a few layers to the ask. Okay, on a simple basis, you can just work out what questions am I going to ask. But as you get better with this technique, there's 2 or 3 layers behind that. You need to figure out who do I find out from, what to ask. And there's important techniques around how do I ask the question? How do I get people to visualize the question, not just a plain question? And actually, when you get to the top, you get to a situation where you don't actually have to ask the question at all. People in the room ask it of themselves. But that's down the road a bit. Okay? Interaction. Okay? So interaction, how do you want the room to interact with each other? Do you want it to be an open session where everybody discusses, or do you want small groups? There's lots of techniques in here that we can use, and you need to pick the right technique for the audience. So this is part of the visualization, it's part of the thinking, and you may have a different interaction for each of the questions that you decided to ask, because they might be different types. They might be more personal, they might be more company orientated, etc. So this is really important to get the interaction right. There are simple techniques, as I said, fishbowl, whatever way you want to do it. But there is the more sophisticated techniques, liberating structures. So we need to understand those and find the one that works for you, because this is very much based on your style and your way of working. How you want the discussion to go, okay? Okay, so some people feel that the interaction and the discussion is the same thing. No, it's not. The interaction is the individuals, how they interact, but you as a facilitator need to bring it back a little bit, control it a little bit, and see how we discuss this. But this is also really important for the individuals in the room, that they've interacted probably in a smaller group, and now how we discuss it. So we're moving people through it more like a change management thinking way of getting to things, that they've interacted perhaps in a smaller group. Now they're opening up the discussion to listen to what other people are going. This is how we're going to get them to the next step, which is some form of evaluation. Okay, so we need to evaluate what we discussed earlier on. We need to think about it, and we need to decide, or not so much decide, but come to some form of consensus on it. Maybe it's a simple thumbs up, some form of voting, some form of hidden technique that might be a little bit more sophisticated. And again, there's loads of layers in there. And then the last one is decision, okay? Okay. Now, obviously, AIDED is you use it before you start in the room, so you think about these. You've thought about this 2-3 days beforehand, and you need to decide, can we come up with a decision? Are we expected to come up with a decision? I like the idea of making decisions. We've done an evaluation. We seem to know which is the right decision to come with up. Let's make a decision. So that's really key, and hopefully we've got the people in the room. And as a facilitator, you've got these people already thought about as you've gone through these steps. So there's quite a lot of, I suppose, material for you to build the confidence to run a really, really good facilitation session. So we call it AIDED, and as I said, there's many, many more layers to pick up on that. I'd love to chat with you more. I'm going to try and put up some blogs on this over the next few weeks to get you more into it. Okay, thank you very much for listening to me. It's Dave from Altruist Training. Thanks.